Hi there. Some of you asked how I did a multi-layered print of ferns with a mountain and the sun in the background. And so here's me doing my first demonstration video. So I don't have any ferns right now because it's Maine and it's February. But I do have a plant, a house plant called Coleus that I think will also be interesting to use in the foreground. First layer on my 12 by 12 plate is going to be with dioxazine purple. Just going to put a little bit of that on the plate. Use my large brayer. I love my large brayer. I'm not really concerned about how the purple goes down because this is the base layer. See that there's a little bit of little dots and getting some sheer looks from it, but not an issue at all. And a sheet of white 65-pound scrapbooking paper. Use my sleeve here. Allows me to clean the edges as I go. And just getting a base layer of purple there. Kind of ghosty and eerie even in spots. And I'm going to guess that's a golden retriever hair. All right. So now I've got the purple down on the bottom. I actually, I might need this to be just a hair darker. So I'm going to do one more pull. I'm guessing that when I made the original print, which was last fall, that that I had used the purple as a cleaning print for my gel plate. Some of you who've been around the block for a while are noticing that there's some little bubbles in my plate. It's because it got stored in the plastic instead of on paper. Not a big deal. I'll fix that up later. But I don't think it'll be an issue with today's printing. I'm just doing a second layer of purple. Put that back. Oh yeah, now it's a little darker in there in the background. That's good. That's good. So that gives me a nice underlayer. Oh, it is. It's a golden retriever hair. And it has appeared again in the print. Just cleans it up. I have a 14-week-old golden retriever puppy, and there is no such thing as a hair-free environment anymore. Next layer that I'm going to do is a mix of Prussian blue hue and the Liquitex Basics Titanium White. I'm actually going to mix these on a different plate. Use this nice little round plate here to mix the colors together because I don't want to get spots where the paint has been cleaned off of the plate by larger blobs. Digging that sound. So mixing them together here before applying them to my big plate here. You can already see that there's another dog here on the plate, but I'm going to let it be because, again, this is background. It's not as important that it be perfect. Now that I've got the paint on the plate, I'm going to use a sheet of textured paper. I actually use this size. Put this down. Give it a good rub. should be pulling up some of that paint. Yeah, gives me a nice texture. I'm going to take that purple sheet and put it down and layer that sort of denim-y color that has been formed from mixing. There we go. Got a nice background, really rich kind of color here. There's one area where it's more blue than white. So when I'm laying out the next portion of the print, I'm going to use the paper this way so that it disappears underneath the gold. I still have some paint over here on this plate, and I'm going to clean up the brayer and the plate. Just put a piece of paper down here. Clean the brayer off on the back so we get a nice pull. And this will make a nice background for something else. Yeah. Bonus print. Okay. So the real trick to this print is this torn piece of paper that gives me the mountain edge, and I used a paper punch to do this large perfect hole here. And this is going to go down on the plate once I've applied the paint, and it'll give me that sun and the mountains, and then I'll put my leaves in here. So first, this part I'm going to have to work quickly for. This is iridescent copper light fine. I had said I thought it was gold, but I was incorrect. Copper light fine. And I'm going to want to have something to extend it a little bit so that I have some time to work. And I don't see my extender at the moment. Oh, there it is. Satin glazing liquid. This helps. So the golden satin glazing liquid, I'm going to put that on the plate. A little dollop of that. Put down my copper. Goodly amount of that. And again, I'm going to mix them together on this plate so that I don't end up with blobbies. That's the technical term on my big plate. All right. So getting down a nice copper field here. Glazing liquid will give me a little more time to work. Putting down my mask. And then my leaves. here, I'm going to get a bearing so I get a nice contact. I've got that really well rubbed. I'm going to hold down at one end so I can cheat out my leaves at the other end. And then put it back down. Use that bearing again so I can get the detail. Alright, there's my print. Now the next thing that I'll do with this is I'll go back in with my white Posca pen and I'll add pen and ink detail to it to come up with the final. That'll look something like this, but a little different. Hope that helps.